Welcome to the latest edition of Hematology Updates, covering breakthroughs in the past 2 weeks. Brought to you by LucidQuest. CSL Canada announced that the first Canadian patient received HEMGENIX, also known as etranacogene dasaparvovec, outside a clinical trial at London Health Sciences Centre in Ontario. The one-time gene therapy is intended for eligible adults with severe to moderately severe hemophilia B and is now publicly reimbursed in Ontario and British Columbia following a pCPA agreement. Cullinan Therapeutics received FDA Orphan Drug Designation for CLN-049 in relapsed or refractory acute myeloid leukemia. CLN-049 is an investigational FLT3 by CD3 T-cell engager being studied in phase 1 programs for relapsed or refractory AML or MDS, as well as AML with measurable residual disease. GSK Canada began Pan-Canadian Pharmaceutical Alliance negotiations for Blenrep combinations in adults with relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma. Blenrep, also known as belantamab mafodotin, is an anti-BCMA antibody-drug conjugate being evaluated in combinations with bortezomib and dexamethasone, or pomalidomide and dexamethasone. Biopharma announced development of an AI-based clinical decision support system to predict hemophilia-related joint damage. The project will use 30 years of Korean hemophilia clinical data and approximately 3,000 X-ray images, with an arthropathy prediction model planned this year and a system build targeted by 2028. Johnson & Johnson reported positive Phase 3 MajesTEC-9 data for TECVAYLI, also known as teclistamab, in relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma. The company reported significant progression-free survival and overall survival improvements versus standard of care regimens as early as second line, including a 71% reduction in risk of disease progression or death and a 40% reduction in risk of death. InnoCare Pharma announced that China's CDE accepted its new drug application for orelabrutinib in primary immune thrombocytopenia. The company described this as orelabrutinib's first NDA acceptance in autoimmune disease, potentially expanding BTK inhibition into autoimmune hematology if approved. Solu Therapeutics received FDA Fast Track designation for STX-0712 in relapsed or refractory chronic myelomonocytic monocytic leukemia. STX-0712 is a CyTAC therapy targeting CCR2-positive malignant monocytes and bone marrow blasts, and is being evaluated in a Phase 1 open-label multi-center study in relapsed or refractory CMML and AML. AbbVie received European Commission authorization for an expanded VENCLYXTO label in previously untreated chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The authorization covers VENCLYXTO in combination with acalabrutinib, with or without obinutuzumab, and with ibrutinib, adding fixed-duration targeted options across the European Union, Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. Stay ahead in hematology research. Like, share, and subscribe for our updates. Visit www.lqventures.com or email us at info